I purchased this 30-inch Toro Timemaster mower over 7.5 years ago, and since then the sale price of this model has nearly doubled. I don't want to have to purchase this mower, or any mower for that matter, anytime soon. So in this video, I'm going to give this mower a proper tune-up and also share some maintenance tips that will hopefully prevent things from breaking in the near future. And I'll give you my opinion on this mower, both the good and the bad, after nearly 8 years of ownership. Before we get into the tune-up, I'm going to start with a maintenance tip. And this is one that I saw on another video, and that's to remove this plastic shroud here, which has the belts underneath, and remove any debris that might be in here. There's 4 3/8" bolts that hold this down. I got those 4 bolts removed, and I do expect there to be a pretty big mess under here. I haven't taken this off too many times, but I have had to remove it to replace the belts underneath. And I'll leave links to those videos down below. Right, yeah, just as I expected, there's a lot of leaf debris and it's kind of wet under here. It's late in November here. We just finished up all the leaves falling from the trees in my area, and I like to mulch them up and then bag them up at the end of the season. So I'm going to clean all of this stuff out, and that's going to prevent moisture from building up under the deck here, prevent belts from possibly getting tangled up in any of this, and hopefully allow the belts to last longer. Well, I spent several minutes cleaning this out really well. I even went a step beyond and took off this plastic piece here, this cover, and there was a bunch of debris under there that I scooped out. So this is kind of what I found, hidden in all the little nooks and crannies. So it's kind of worth it to kind of just spend some time digging that stuff out, because that's just gonna get wet and cause some rust, which I do have up underneath my deck, and we'll address that in a little bit. The next thing I'm gonna do is take the mower to the door here and start it up and let it run for a few minutes. I'd like it to warm up before I change the oil. It'll help that oil flow out nice and smoothly. Now that the engine has warmed up, we're going to go ahead and remove the spark plug wire. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the spark plug as well. Pull that wire off, and got a spark plug socket here. Put that on. I'm going to get this spark plug replaced because it's part of the tune-up kit. Just good practice from a safety perspective to remove the spark plug. That way there's no chance of the engine, the motor, turning over and potentially starting. Ooh, look at that one, man. That thing is looking nasty. I mean, the spark plug, I guess, itself doesn't look too bad, but the housing's pretty rusted. The new one looks nice and shiny. We'll put that in a little bit. Now I'm going to get the oil changed, and one of the common complaints with this mower is the only way to get the old oil out is through the fill tube, which is located on the top of the engine. You have to turn the entire mower on its side and then hopefully catch it. So I have a pan here. The engine is warm. The oil should flow nice and smooth. Go ahead and pull the dipstick out. Man, that wasn't very much oil. Oil drained out into the pan. I actually didn't make a mess. I'll be the first to admit that I haven't done the best of jobs to maintain this lawnmower over the 8 years or so that I've owned it, but with that being said, it really hasn't caused me any problems. I've had a couple things that I've had to repair over the years. I'll touch on those in just a little bit, but as far as giving it a full tune-up, I don't know that I've ever done it. I have changed the oil once or twice, but I haven't tracked it, and I've never changed the spark plug, I've never changed the blades, I've never changed the air filter, and I've never changed the gas filter, and those are all things that I'm going to do today. I have a feeling this next step is going to be messy. I'm going to change the gas filter here, and it's a straight line. I got a couple pairs of pliers that I'm going to try to pinch it off, get that new one inserted, and the tank is almost empty, but not quite empty. And even if it was empty, there'd probably still be plenty that would flow through. So I'm just going to move the clamps out of the way. There's a directional arrow on here that says that the gas needs to flow that way. That turned out pretty easy to change that gas filter, and what a difference. I mean, this is the old one, the original, and I mean, it's pretty cruddy compared to the new one. So the next step while I'm here is to change the air filter. And while I'm doing this, I will mention that kind of what got me interested in wanting to do this full tune-up was that over the summer I was walking through Lowe's and I just stopped dead in my tracks. I noticed that my mower was sitting there on the showroom floor, so to speak, at Lowe's, and I saw the price tag on it was $1,645. And I thought, wow, that is way more than I paid for it. And I got home and I looked up what I paid for mine back in 2018, and it was about $899. So like a 45% increase overall in that time period. And I thought, wow, that is just incredible. So I looked up the kind of rate of inflation over that period of time and just used a calculator online and wanted to see what the price would be from 2018 if you considered it was going to be the same amount of money. What would that money buy, or what should that money buy in 2025, which is when I'm recording this video, and it was about $1,100, $1,100, something like that, a 29% increase. So I don't know why this mower has increased in price 45% from the time that I bought it. I'm pretty sure that I didn't buy it on any kind of specific sale. If it was just a little bit off the main reason that I purchased it at the time. I don't think it was available at the retail level, like at Lowe's or Home Depot back then. I think that I bought it directly from Toro dealership. I remember picking it up from them, and at the time they offered 12 months no interest financing, which is why I purchased it. So $900 back then, and it is nearly $1,700 now. It's almost doubled in price, which is just crazy. So again, that's why I'm doing this tune-up. It's the end of November here. I want to get this thing in good shape so that next year and for many years to come, it's going to continue to run really well for me. Got that air filter replaced. Like I mentioned, I never replaced this one. I just blew it out. I used compressed air and blew it out. And I don't think that I've had any problems with it. It still looks okay, but it's good to get a new one. You can just see that dust coming out of this old one here. Went ahead and replaced this plastic cover. I'm going to replace the spark plug. It just goes back in same way it came out. Just hand tighten that. Place the plug. Now we're going to fill the oil. This kit came with 18 ounces of oil, which is what the Timemaster calls for. I don't know if there was any oil left in there, so I'll pour most of it in and check the level. Okay, got a little bit left. Let's go ahead and check the level. Yeah, actually a little bit over, so I'm going to leave it at that for now, and we'll check it next season. Kind of a nice touch. This kit was provided with this sticker from the Mower shop. And I put today's date on there to show whenever my last service occurred. So now I know that next year I should be doing the same thing to make this mower last as long as it possibly can. The tune-up kit also came with new blades, but I'm not going to replace them at this time. So it's currently the end of November and my mowing is over for the season. Probably at the beginning of spring, I'm going to need to get out and mulch the leaves, so I'm going to use the old blades for that. Put the new blades on when the grass starts coming in nice and strong. A couple of maintenance tips that I've started to use over the years that I think might be helpful is to spray some WD-40 into these cables, because I have had a couple of these cables break on me over the years, and I think if they're lubricated, we get in there and try to get any of that moisture out, it prevents them from getting corroded and breaking. Last maintenance tip here for you before I give you my final thoughts on this mower overall. I'm going to put some of this Sta-Bil fuel stabilizer into the gas tank. There's not a lot of gas in here, but I want to go ahead and put some of this in there and then run it. And then what this is going to do is it's going to help prevent the carburetor from getting gummed up so that it starts nice and easy next year, because gas only really lasts like 3 months or so before it starts gumming up and getting nasty. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this in there. I'm not worried about really the quantity, and then I'm gonna go out and run it for like 5 minutes. I lied. There's one more thing that I wanted to do as sort of a preventative maintenance type of thing. Obviously have the mower on its handle, and I'm looking at the underside of the deck. I do have most of my paint has scraped off from the underside, and there is some rust forming. What I'd like to do is just take some black Rust-Oleum that I just happen to have here laying around. I don't necessarily expect this to be perfect. I'm just going to get a light coating on there so that it will hopefully prevent this steel from rusting out and creating any kind of holes in my mower deck. All right, that only took like an hour and a half total to do all of that, the full tune-up, a couple of maintenance items, preventative maintenance items, and hopefully the mower will continue to last for years and years to come. Like I said, I don't have any plans or desire to buy a new mower anytime soon. So I'll give you my opinion on the mower overall. I mentioned I've had it for nearly 8 years, so I guess it's been at least 7 seasons. I feel like I have used and abused this mower over the years. First couple of years that I owned it, my boys used it to mow the grass at some of our rental properties, so it has gotten some additional usage over the years beyond just our yard. My youngest son continued to use it for several years, mowing the grass for his grandparents. So it has mowed a lot over the years, and our yard is pretty decent size. It's about 1/4 of an acre, about 10,000 square feet. It really does save us a lot of time. That is one of the good things. It saves us a lot of time in mowing. I used to have a 21-inch mower for years that I mowed my lawn with, and it took forever. Also mentioned that I use it in the fall because we have a lot of trees behind our house, and I like to mulch up those leaves and then bag them up with the mower and get rid of them in the woods. So it goes through all that extra work. It's not just mowing grass. I have had a few problems with it over the years. I've had to replace a belt underneath. I've had to replace a cable, and then I've had to replace the kill switch. One day the kill switch just stopped working. I took it apart and tried to figure out how to fix it, and I just couldn't. So I ended up buying that part, which was pretty cheap. One other thing is my son hit a stake in the ground one time and sheared one of the blade adapters. Interesting thing about that part was that we did that back in 2021. So 4 years ago, I bought those new blade adapters, and they were $15.95 for the two. And today they're currently $16.18. So approximately 1% increase over those 4 years. But the overall cost of the mower over an 8-year period has been 45% increase, so just crazy. Another thing that I don't really like about this mower that I wish could be changed is the front wheels don't turn. That would be my only request for the mower. Everything else works really well. Another good thing that I like about it is the walk behind speed can be adjustable with a little knob on the side, and it's easy to start. It starts for me on at least the second pull every single time. So there you have it. Those are my opinions. I haven't done a great job taking care of it, but I have done a decent job. I have kept it in a shed all the years and just fixed whatever needed to be fixed on it. So I hope it lasts me at least another 8 years or longer. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more DIY content, and I really appreciate you watching.